What's up and welcome to my review of set 75142, the Homing Spider Droid. This set has 310 pieces as well as 4 minifigures. It released back in 2016 with a retail of $29.99. However, now new in box costs around $150. The back of our box shows off the build as well as quite a few different fun play features throughout that we'll be taking a look at a little bit later. It also shows a cutaway of the Battle of Kashyyyk and all of our builds in there, as well as all of the weapons that are included in this set, something that we don't see very often for these LEGO Star Wars sets. But let's start off by looking at our minifigures. The 4 in this set being the Kashyyyk Trooper, Yoda, as well as 2 battle droids. I want to start off by looking at the Kashyyyk Trooper, as he is one of, if not my favorite clone troopers from this era for LEGO Star Wars, with the olive green base color and the camo printing on top. This guy looks so good. Looking toward the helmet, you also have the green visor printed on, which looks amazing with all of the different details. As we move down to the torso print, we have once again all of that really nice camo texturing and palette, which looks amazing on this minifigure, and it's continued down to the legs as well, where the boots is left plain. Moving to the side, there is no camo printing, but it's definitely expected for this minifigure. I really don't think that it takes away at all, but to the back, we have the printing on the back. Not on the back of the helmet, but it is on the back of the torso, and you have, once again, some really good detail for the back of this clone trooper. And overall, this is a great minifigure. Now, I wish that we would have gotten 2 in this set, or if we had gotten a scout trooper as well, but I do think this minifigure is pretty much perfect. I have no complaints about it, and I think he looks amazing. Our next minifigure in this set is Yoda. Now, this is a version that we have seen in a couple of other sets, but this one is very good. Starting off with the molded head, has a lot of nice detailing with the wrinkles in the forehead and overall just having a very good shape. And then as we move in to look closer, you can see those details close up, as well as the really nice molded ears on this minifigure and some minimal torso prints. Now, when you flip this minifigure to the back, you can see that the hair is actually printed on the back of the head, and there's even printing on the back of the torso with this small hood and the rest of the robes. Overall, a basic minifigure, but it definitely gets the job done. And as we move on to our last 2 minifigures in this set are the B1 battle droids, which need no introduction as we've seen them countless times over the past couple of years, but they are still a great inclusion. Now, as we move on to our builds for this set, we have the dwarf spider droid as well as the homing spider droid. And I have to say that they look very good side by side. The homing spider droid looks great, but I want to start off by looking at our dwarf spider droid. Now, this build uses the same base design that we still see today, as well as a couple of other versions. However, there are a few key differences. It uses this large telephone piece with the red studs for the eyes, and putting it on a droid arm allows it to be posable around, and I think it looks really good. It stands on his 4 brick-built legs using the droid torso pieces, and if you flip it over, you can see it has a small clear cylinder to help balance it. The top of the droid has the small antenna piece, which is able to be moved around as much as you would like. But as for the main difference, that comes in the stud shooter. Now, this is something that LEGO has done away with, and this being a set that came out when stud shooters were all the rage for LEGO Star Wars. Now, I do think it is a very fun play feature. You can just shoot it off just like that. It doesn't pack too much power and it gets loose of you pretty easily, but it is fun to shoot off. Yes, it may take away from the display ability and the whole immersion, but I think it is a very fun play feature, and it's something that's very easy to take off if you're not a big fan. But now, as we move on to the main build being the homing spider droid, and this thing is an absolute behemoth. This set stands at 7 minifigures high, which, yes, it is now an official measuring. Don't quote me on that, but I think that this thing looks amazing. And it has a lot of pretty good detailing. Now, I will say the one downfall when it comes to the display are the Technic beams that hold the legs in place. And at the top, we have our antenna laser, which does look very good, but you can see that connection with the Technic, which isn't the best for display. But it does allow you to pose the legs, but another posable feature is going to be the top section of the head, where you can swivel it at 360 degrees. Uses 3 red studs as the eyes, and you have a small little platform on the back, which makes it very easy to swivel around. And the eyepiece looks very good for this set. But unfortunately, you cannot move the top laser around at all. It is in a fixed front location. But on to the most controversial part about this set is the laser cannon at the bottom. Now, the reason this is controversial is, I'm sure you can see, is it has the stud shooter Gatling gun, as I like to call it. And yes, this thing may not look too good, but trust me, it is so cool. All you have to do is twist the back lever and it will shoot out all of your studs in a very quick succession. And yes, it is pretty hard to grab all of those studs back up, but once you have them, you can slot them back in. It does take quite some time and it is pretty tedious, but it's a very fun play feature to have in this set. And it's also a pretty deadly weapon that can easily take down a clone trooper. but I do think that this is a very nice set. I think the build for the homing spider droid, well, may be a little bit outdated, has a lot of fun play features as well as having an overall nice look. And the same thing can be said for the dwarf spider droid, but as for the homing spider droid, I still think it is a very fun set. It may not be perfect for display, but I think as for a play set, it makes a great one, with quite a few very fun play features. And as for the spider droid, it also does its job. Now, this set may be lacking a little bit in the minifigure department. I really would have loved to have seen another clone trooper, whether that just be another Kashyyyk trooper, a scout trooper, or a Commander Greer or something like that, but I still think that you are able to set up a pretty fun scene with the minifigures that are included. And overall, I have to say that this set was definitely a great deal for $30 back in the day. Unfortunately, though, you can no longer find it at that $30 price tag, but if you are able to get your hands on a nice used copy, I definitely think that this set is worth it and one that's well overdue for a remake by LEGO. But let me know what you guys think about this set down below in the comments. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe. Drew signing out.